What's going on, you guys? I'm as always Mr. Grimreaper 2. Welcome everybody to another edition, well, Halloween edition anyway, of Back in Time. And tonight we are going to talk about Bram Stoker's Dracula. Now, this was directed by Francis Ford Coppola. It stars Gary Oldman and Winona Ryder, Anthony Hopkins, and Keanu Reeves. Very young Keanu Reeves, by the way. It's based on the novel by the legendary Bram Stoker. So, yeah, we're going to go through this, and we're going to talk about this. It's very, very long plot. So, let's discuss this, shall we? And I'm pretty sure you've never seen this one either, right?
Nope.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And as I'm going to say to you guys, I'm going to say to him, if you have not seen this yet, yes, I'm going to go through the plot here in a minute. If you have not seen it yet, click off, go pick it up, watch it, then come back. So, anyway, alright, so 1462, Vlad Dracula, a member of the Order of the Dragon, returns from a victory against the Turks to find his wife, Elizabeta, committed suicide. I can't say that word, but anyway. After his enemies falsely reported his death, the priest proceeds to tell him that his wife's soul is damned to hell for committing suicide. Enraged, Dracula desecrates the chapel and renounces God, declaring that he will rise from the grave to avenge Elizabeta with all the powers of darkness. He then stabs the chapel stone cross with his sword and drinks the blood that pours out of it. In 1897, newly qualified solicitor Jonathan Harker, played by Keanu Reeves, takes the Transylvanian Count Dracula as a client from his colleague Renfield, who has gone insane. No shit. Jonathan travels to Transylvania to arrange Dracula's real estate acquisitions in London, including Carfax Abbey. Jonathan meets Dracula, who discovers a picture of his fiance, Mina Harker, and believes that she is a reincarnation of Elizabeta. Dracula leaves Jonathan to be attacked and fed upon by his brides, while he sails to England with boxes of his native Transylvanian soil, taking up residence at Carfax Abbey. His arrival is foretold by the ravings of Renfield, now an inmate in Dr. Jack Seward's insane asylum. In London, Dracula emerges as a wolf-like creature amid a fierce thunderstorm and hypnotically seduces, then bites Lucy Westenra, with whom Mina is staying while Jonathan is in Transylvania. Lucy's deteriorating health and behavioral changes prompt her former suitors Quincy Morris and Dr. Seward, along with her fiancé Arthur Holmwood, to summon Dr. Abraham Van Helsing, who recognizes Lucy as the victim of a vampire. He eventually discovers that the creature is Dracula. Dracula, appearing young and handsome during daylight, meets and charms Mina. Anyway, when Mina receives word from Jonathan, who has escaped the castle and recovered at a convent, she travels to Romania to marry him. In his fury, Dracula transformed Lucy into a vampire. Van Helsing, Holmwood, Seward, and Morris killed the undead Lucy the following night. After Jonathan and Mina return to London, Jonathan and Van Helsing lead the others to Carfax Abbey, where they destroy the Count's boxes of soil. Dracula enters the asylum, where he kills Renfield for warning Mina of his presence. He visits Mina who is staying in Seward's quarters while the others hunt Dracula, and confesses that he murdered Lucy and has been terrorizing Mina's friends. Confused and angry, Mina admits that she still loves him and remembers Elisabeta's previous life. At her insistence, Dracula begins transforming her into a vampire. The hunters burst into the bedroom, and Dracula claims Mina as his bride before escaping. As Mina changes, Van Helsing hypnotizes her and learns via her connection with Dracula that he is sailing home in his last remaining box. The hunters depart for Varna to intercept him, but Dracula reads Mina's mind and evades him. The hunters split up. Van Helsing and Mina travel to the Borgo Pass and the castle, while the others try to stop the gypsies transporting the Count. Sorry, guys. That's just my mom and them. I like to talk. But anyway. At night, Van Helsing and Mina are approached by Dracula's brides. Initially, they frighten Mina, but she eventually succumbs to their chanting and attempts to seduce Van Helsing. Before Mina can feed on his blood, Van Helsing places a wafer on her forehead, leaving a mark. He surrounds them with a ring of fire to protect them from the brides, then infiltrates the castle and decapitates them the following morning. Excuse me. As sunset approaches, Dracula's carriage arrives at the castle, pursued by the hunters. A fight between the hunters and the gypsies ensues. Morris is stabbed in the back during the fight, and Dracula bursts from his coffin at sunset. Jonathan slits his throat while the wounded Morris stabs him in the heart with a Bowie knife. As Dracula staggers, Mina rushes to his defense. Homewood tries to attack, but Van Helsing and Jonathan allow her to retreat with the Count. Morris dies of his wound, surrounded by his friends. In the chapel where he renounced God, Dracula lies dying in an ancient demonic form. He and Mina share a kiss as the candles adorning the chapel light up and the cross repairs itself. Dracula turns back to his younger self and asks Mina to give him peace. Mina thrusts the knife through his heart as he finally dies, the mark on her forehead disappears. As Dracula's curse is lifted, she decapitates him and gazes up at a fresco of Vlad and Elisabeta ascending to heaven together, reunited at long last. Thus ending this movie. Thus ending Bram Stoker's Dracula. Anyway, so I've only seen this movie one time in my life, and I haven't seen it. I remember some bits and pieces of it, like, and stuff like that, but I do remember the movie very vividly. This movie has horrific tones to it. But what gets me is this. What gets me is that Vlad Dracula, or Vlad the Impaler, whatever you want to call him, he finds out that his wife committed suicide because they falsely reported that he died in battle. Yeah. That's stupid. You know what I mean? I mean, how do they know that he died? You know what I mean? How did he know that? How did they know? They don't know. They have no idea, like, whether he died or not. So
they just automatically assume that he died. And he said it. I mean, Grim said it. How do they even know? They just said, oh, he said, your husband said.
she and the poor girl is heartbroken, and she ends up killing herself. Of course she's gonna be damned. Of course she's gonna be damned for it. She's gonna be damned for committing suicide. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't know. That's stupid. That's my only gripe with this movie is that
Yeah.
happens. But as far as everything else goes, the visuals in the movie was really good. The entire cast did really, really, really well with this movie. Um, Francis Ford Coppola, of course, you know he is a director. He was the director of two out of the three of the Godfather movies. I think so. Yeah,
I believe so.
I believe so. Yeah.
Let's
Uh,
see here. Godfather Part 2, Godfather Part 1. Oh, we only did those. I think Part 3, yeah, you're right. You're right, sir.
okay, so he did do part two. Yeah, he did all.
All
He
three Godfathers.
actually he did all three.
Yeah, he did.
Cool.
Yeah, all three Godfathers. Yes, he did.
Okay.
Oh, wow. And he also directed Jack. Robert Williams' Jack. The
Yeah,
one
I
that we
didn't know
talked
that.
about a long time ago.
Yeah, I had no idea that he did that. Okay.
Cool, yeah, I don't have the list here, but yeah, so.
All right.
Cool.
All right, and he also did the Michael Jackson movie, Captain EO. I did not know that. Cool.
How about that?
But anyway, but he knows how to tell good stories.
Rat it out.
For Coppola, he knows how to tell a good story, and I think the way they put this story, the way they did this, I think I have to go back to the visuals. There's a scene in this movie, and you can look it up if you want to. There's a scene in this movie where they're on a train, and you can see as the camera pans out in the sky in this orange sky, you see the eyes of Dracula just looking at him, and it's scary as hell. So, but yeah, the visuals are really good, and everything else is pretty good with this movie. And I think I give this a 10 out of 10 too.
Yep.
I gotta give this one a 10 out of 10 too.
Yes.
Bram Stoker's Dracula is one of those legendary films that horror fans will love. If you're a horror fan, if you're a fan of Dracula, if you're a fan of vampire movies in general, you will definitely like this one. Now, I have to ask my friend this, and be honest. Would you watch this movie?
I would. Honestly, I would. You know, and this also, Dracula would also be, you know, not specifically, but of course, Dracula was also one of the first Universal horror monsters as well, alongside Frankenstein.
And we will talk about the Universal. We will go back to the Universal monsters another day. Soon.
We will. But yeah, anyway, this is Dracula is one of them. So anyway, but honestly, I will watch this movie. You know, I am a fan of Keanu Reeves. You know, his movies, John Wick. I know that. Winona Ryder, I know who she is. She played the girl, Mr. Deeds, that tried to charm Adam Sandler's character, so I know who she is. So,
Yeah.
So I would watch it. Yeah, I would. You're darn right, I would.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that this deserves a lot of credit for what he got. The visuals, everything about it is a really, really good movie. The entire cast, the music from Wojciech Kilar, hell of a good music, hell of a good soundtrack as well. If you don't have the soundtrack to this movie, go pick it up. It's really, really good. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for us for right now. Coming up next, I said it before. We're gonna talk about the controversial Joker for the return of Ripper movie reviews. So yeah, that's gonna be it for me. I'm Mr. Grimreaper 2 with Dark Knight 97. We'll see you all in the afterlife. Peace.